Good day, everyone. My name is Praveen Shani. The my talk is mathematics of reinforcement learning. Am I audible, right, Bryony?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Good. As we are solving many of the mathematical problems, we are really observing that we are creating a solutions of a mapping of a solution from intuitive to rational. One of a very interesting analogy is dated back from the Indian scriptures called Bhagavad Gita. It's about 5,000 years ago, where we were told that a human must performs an action without the expectation of a reward. While we understanding reinforcement learning, we'll understand that the agent performs an action with the expectation of a reward. So we always every day make some optimal decision making, right? What to eat, what not to eat. We need to play. We need to take an optimal action in order to maximize the reward, right? So from the genesis of the reinforcement learning is from the behavioral psychology, and it dated back to 1890s when Pavlov dog experiment, where a meat is kept in front of a dog and the dog starts salivating, right? So it psychologically thought about the reward function and start moving towards the food, right? So the formally it was introduced by Sir Richard Sutton and Sir Andrew Watto. They were the actual founders of the reinforcement learning, and it was published by the research work in like 1983, neuron-like adaptive elements that can solve difficult learning control problems. So what is reinforcement learning? Reinforcement learning is a trial and error based learning approach. We need to choose an optimal arm in order to maximize the rewards, whether it's in the short run or in the long run, right? So this is the framework of the reinforcement learning approach. For example, I'm riding a bicycle. I'm an agent, right? So I'm performing an action in an environment, and I will learn from that environment, and from that state, I'll evaluate myself, and based on that evaluation, I get some rewards. So I'm riding a bicycle. That's okay. If I'm no driving a car and the car got crashed, it would be a way more negative reward. So I need to create a policy. So my policy pi is mapping from states to actions, right? So the value functions I'll explain you later, and the returns. So I'll be focusing on the immediate reinforcement learning, which means I need rewards on an immediate terms. And one of the very rich comprehensions in the RL community is multi-armed bandits. The word really came from the PlayStation, where we pull an arm and one of the arm gives the highest expected reward, right? So the fundamental of the multi-armed bandit is we have a set of actions, and we assume a true expected payoff, which is the expectation of a reward, provided my action has been performed. So and we don't really know what type of distribution it is going to be. We always try to simulate. Like one of the very interesting examples is the bot copter, which was made in 2011 in the Stanford University. So I've assumed a normal distribution, and this is really what it looks like. So there are three types of solution. One is asymptotic correctness, that on a very vague sense, I'll start from somewhere, and eventually at t tends to infinity, I'll explore and find out, right? But as we move forward, we will really quantify things into a mathematical perspective. Second is the regret optimality. Let's say I assume a best policy pi star, and I start from a some point, and eventually I reach to my best policy, right? So so the time taken to reach to the best policy is my regret. So the complete comprehension of the mathematical analysis is based on the minimization of the regret, right? So, and it really came into existence after 2012 or 13. So the next is the probably approximately correct bounds. So, and it's a sample complexity problem, right? So I cannot guarantee you that my action is the best term, right? So so I need to make sure that what is the highest probability that I'm approximately correct. So the epsilon, so I've considered the epsilon be the approximate path, delta with the probable path, such that the probability of q star of A is greater than or equal to q star A star minus epsilon, in order to minimize the error part, right? So now we come to the value functions, and one of the very naive way to calculate the values is to take the average part of it. So my action is the argmax of Qt, but I can't be greedy, right? I can't always take the maximum part. So I need to explore also. So I need to balance between how much to explore, how much to exploit, right? So let's say for with the probability epsilon, I'll explore. With the probability 1 minus epsilon, I'll exploit. Right. So to quantify the error term, I'll also add the epsilon by n part. So to really explain you, I've used this diagram that I'll approach to the testing part with the probability epsilon, and I'll explore all the arms. And once I get to the best arm, I just need to directly 1 minus epsilon plus epsilon by n is my direct probability to exploit that best arm. So if I really simulate for the different values of epsilon, I've assumed the Bernoulli distribution here. So this is what it really looks like. So many of you have been known in 1990s. There was a very interesting game called Atari Games. So if we really try to simulate it with respect to the reinforcement learning approach, so this is how it really looks like, how a machine tries to learn itself and try to maximize the rewards, right? So next is the upper confidence bound, and mathematics we really try to quantify it in upper bounds and lower bounds. That is a very natural approach in mathematics. So let's say I have some finite set of actions with the discrete time notion nj. So what I need to do is please play each arm once, right? So my loop is to maximize this Qj, and this is the error part. So this part has itself a long mathematical analysis. So what I can summarize in 3 terms is probably approximately correct, right? So we have different types of theorems on it, but I'll not go into so much of analysis part. But one of the very interesting and very quintessential topic, which is really very important in the proofs of the Chernoff hopping bounds, which is used in the highest expected payoff, right? And the states are really used as a random variables here. Next is the Thompson sampling. So earlier we don't know what type of distribution it is going to be. So I'll assume the distribution, right? So I assume there is I take a beta distribution, and beta distribution is really a generalization of the uniform distribution for a fact. Right, so there is a very interesting connection between the beta distribution and the binomial distribution, right? So, okay, the software I used was Python. I'll give you the link of where you can access my codes, right? So there is a relation between the beta distribution and normal distribution, which can really see in this slide. Okay, next question. Okay. So I try to simulate it, and I keep my alpha and beta such a way that I start from 0 and then until 1. So one of the application you can see, like, which is like if I Google search, right? So which link has the highest probability to be clicked, right? Or in the financial term, which stock which will give me the highest returns, right? So this is how we will simulate the Thompson sampling, and by comparing all these, I can assert that okay, rather than a random strategy, Thompson sampling gives me a really very efficient algorithm in the reinforcement learning approach. So now we are moving forward. There is a very well-known algorithm called gradient descent. So now, as we want to maximize the highest expected payoff, we are really concerned with the gradient descent part. So we need to create a policy at every iteration such that I need to maximize the highest expected payoff, right? And theta is the parameter here. So now the contextual bandits, earlier we are really concerned about some, like the binary bandits, either my reward would be 0 or 1. So now I take the linear span of the different bandits. So those who are really into application of the mathematics, one can really realize that the linear span is might look like the singular value decomposition and is used in the image processing part. So while transitioning to the full reinforcement learning problem, we face a computational problem that now I'll focus into the temporal difference only. Like I'm at the point t, right? So I'll explore till the point t plus 1, and I'll understand the probability of success and come back to the time t and optimize my probability of success. So let's say I'm playing chess with Bryony, right? So I'll try to simulate and try and get to the last node and try to understand the probability of success, and have to get back to the time t, right? So it will take history and a lot. I need to save a lot of history, and it will take time. That is the reason why we work on the Markov's environment, and we use the Markov decision process modeling, and we take 5 tuples, which is states, actions, the probability of transition of state, where S dash is the state at the time t plus 1, and the expectation of a reward. And we take a constant here, like while driving, you need to take care how much far-sighted you need to be or near-sighted you need to be in order to successfully driving or reaching from one point to another point, right? So now I'm really concerned about maximizing my reward in the longer run. So I might suffer some failure in the immediate part, but I need to maximize in the longer run. So we eventually converge to the Bellman optimality equations. It has a very beautiful proof, but due to the time constraint, I'm really skipping off. So to give you a bit visuals of how the mathematical analysis of the MTP modeling is going to be. So we have a different interesting proofs on an algebraic version, right? Like like I make a policy from pi to pi star. If I'm creating an optimal policy at pi, what is the policy at pi star, right? What type of partitions I'm trying to create. So the applications of the reinforcement learning is, one is the inventory management approach from the supplier customer, and what type of agent do we try to establish. These days we can also combine it with IT infrastructure of how companies like Amazon is working. And next is the robotics. We can use deep neural networks in order to understand which optimal arm we need to take, or which is the best action to perform, right? So, and one of the very interesting games based on the reinforcement learning approaches and the robonomics. I'm going to focus on photonic reservoir computing. Here, the scheme is proposed of adaptive model selection photonic reservoir computing, where a system autonomously identifies the best source model of the task of time series prediction using the photonic computing in RL. The photonic reservoir computing.
Sorry, are you almost ready to conclude just because of time constraints?
Okay, sure. So I've used this differential equations, and I try to really simulate in a different combinations, right? Like in Lorenz and Rosser model, I've switched the model after every 500 minutes, right? Or the mixed time series of the model, the selection of the same model with different parametric values, and it was realized that at B2 is equal to 0.6, I'm going to get the highest expected reward. So the conclusion is the reinforcement learning is much more efficient than the classical machine learning techniques. And these days in the scientific community, high performance computing is being used to minimize the regret in the regret optimality. And the mathematics is really a beautiful way to to unveil in the reinforcement learning part, to unveil the natural abstracts of life. So this is my references, and this presentation was a review in nature. Thank you so much. I'll be uploading all my codes on my GitHub repository. In case one is interested to have a discussion on reinforcement learning, I'll be happy to.